So the episode that I listened to is called Silence and the Presence of Everything. And Krista interviewed what is called an acoustic ecologist by the name of Gordon Hempton. He actually kind of coined the term, but essentially he goes around the world and records the sounds of those environments that he's in. He's not only recording just the sounds, but also trying to capture the silence in those environments. And he describes that silence is what he quotes as endangered species these days. One spot that kind of stood out to me is when in the podcast, she asked him a question of, take us on this journey of what it's like to do what you do. And so he begins to describe kind of pulling up to the parking lot of this wilderness, this forest.
Walk us in there with you by sound.
Okay. So I get out of my car. All right. We'll still hear the pinging of its engine. We'll hear other cars and other visitors, and we'll hear the beep beep of our modern world as people are locking their cars and the rustling of our artificial fabrics against our bodies. Some people will be chattering away on cell phones. But then the sound of my backpack goes over my shoulders and we head off down the trail. And no more than 100 yards along these tall, tree-lined, ferned path with moss drapes that add sound deadening to the experience, we'll hear the call-off twitter of a winter wren. This very high-pitched twittering sound that might be coming from 100 feet away. And then we'll hear further away the sound of the whole river that drains the rainforest, echoing off the far side of the valley.
I think that's the spiritual side of this podcast, is that Krista's taking us on giving us an opportunity, an invitation to really kind of pause and to connect with things that speak to our deeper humanity and purpose. And I think part of that is our connectedness to Earth, recording sounds. I mean, that may not be a really kind of earth-shattering, impressive thing to some people, but obviously it was an interesting topic for her. And that says to me that she's very open-minded and very curious and really wants to understand people, places, things on a much fundamental, deeper level in a way that really connects our humanity, our spirituality. I think that she helps us really be curious and really take pause. There's a lot of ways to approach spirituality, and there's a lot of things that we need to consider if we're going to really understand kind of the whole picture. And I think that someone of her acclaim and of her talent and her gifts can certainly hopefully connect a city like ours to that and to this idea of finding who we are and who others are and how our world works together through these unique topics and through unique voice. If you haven't listened to her podcast before, take the opportunity to listen to one and see if you like it. If anything reaches out to you or jumps out at you and kind of grabs you, I'd be pretty surprised if it doesn't. And if it does, then you're probably going to want to go hear it in person.